Hi, this video is going to cover this lesson 5.2, writing linear equations from a table. This is a worksheet we're going to do on February 26th. We'll do this in class, and then I will not be in our afternoon meeting since I have a half a day. So if you want to watch this, whether you're in class and you miss class, or whether you're in the afternoon virtual, this should help you out. So if you're in class, you would have received a piece of paper. If you went virtual, you have to see the virtual problems on the screen for Schoology, and I will post those no problem. Okay, so let's get started here and see what we have to do. It says find the slope and y-intercept in the table. Then write the equation. Is the equation proportional or non-proportional? So we're going to write this as a linear equation just like we talked about in class. And that, of course, will look like y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. This first example is going to happen if x equals 0. That is, if you have a 0 for x on your table, the problem can be done much more quickly. So here I see that I have a 0 for x, and that tells me that the 7 is going to be my y-intercept. So I already know, just from looking at my table, that 7 is the y-intercept. Okay, next we're going to find slope. So when you find slope, you're going to want to use two ordered pairs. Now I'm going to use, this is my first ordered pair, and this one is my second ordered pair. Now there are two ways you can do this. You can simply observe what's happening here as your y's change. So this y starts at 7 and it goes to 5. It was reduced by 2. It's going down by 2. So if it goes down by 2, that would be a -2. Now I'm going to look at my x values. My x value starts at 0 and it goes to 5. So this x value increases from 0 to 5, increases by 5. This is how much my y decreased, how much my x increased. Do not make this into a decimal. If it's going to be a fraction, just leave it as a fraction. If you can reduce your fraction to a whole number, then do so. This one has to stay just the way it is. And so I'm going to have -2/5 as my slope. If you were to write this in Schoology as an answer, so in Schoology you're going to have to do a -2, a slash, and then the 5 to make a fraction. All of the answers on the worksheet you're going to submit to me in Schoology. So we have our m, our slope. We have our b, our y-intercept. Put them together for your equation. So y equals, this is a small line, isn't it? -2/5 x plus 7. Circle 1, is this proportional or non-proportional? So to know if an equation is proportional, the b has to equal 0. If it's non-proportional, the b does not equal 0. Well, our b value is 7, so this is non-proportional. When you go into Schoology, the two things in Schoology you're going to have to give me: the equation and non-proportional. So in Schoology, I have y equals -2/5 x plus 7. You just put in your m and your b, and then you'll type in NON for non-proportional. So it kind of looks like a quiz. You're just filling the answers in. after you do the flip side of this worksheet. Okay, the second example, if x does not equal 0. So if you don't see an x equals 0 in your table, then you have to solve for your y-intercept. You have to solve for b. This takes a little bit longer. So you still find your slope the same way. If you want to start off with your slope, the change in y, I'm going up by 9. The change in x, I'm going up by 3. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. So your slope is 3. I should put an M there. Now to find the b, you're going to use this format to find your b. It's kind of small here. I think I should have made this a little bit bigger, but whatever. You'll use this format to find your b. So you know what the slope is. You just discovered your slope. You just calculated slope. It's a 3. So you're going to put a 3 in here for slope. Woo, little bit. There you go. Then choose one of your ordered pairs. I don't care which ordered pair you choose. I typically try to choose something that's positive. I don't have negatives. And the smallest numbers that I have, the smallest set that I have. So I'm going to choose 8 and 16. So the x value is 8. It goes in here. The y value is 16. Place it up front. So the x was 8. The y value is 16. And now you have an equation set up for you to solve. So put your line down. That's your wall. You're going to multiply 3 times 8. So 3 times 8 gives you 24. You still are adding the b. You still have an equal sign on your wall. And you've done nothing with the 16 yet. Okay, continue on. You're still trying to find b. b has to be by itself. And right now you have a positive 24 with it. So to move the positive 24 across the wall, you use the opposite. So the opposite of a positive 24 is a negative 24. And what you do on one side of your equation, you must also show on the other. So 16 plus negative 24, that'll give you negative 8. These are opposites, so they cancel each other out. Now you have your b. And ta-da! You have figured out the value of b. So you want to put negative 8 in here. Now again, the equation is what goes into the Schoology, so you submit an answer. You want to have 3 and negative 8 on your paper, but you'll put the entire equation here. So you're going to put in y equals 3x. Now watch what I do here. Minus 8. You see, you don't want to put in plus negative. It's okay on paper, but in Schoology, it's going to say, what? So you want to put in, or in MyHRW, it's going to say, what? So you want to put in a negative 8 here. So in Schoology, you can put in a plus negative. But remember, in MyHRW, you can't do that because it'll say, what are you talking about? All right, are you going to be proportional or non-proportional? Look at the value of b. It is not equal to 0. Therefore, you're going to have to be non-proportional. So keep in mind the 2 answers that go into your Schoology when you submit answers. It's going to be the equation, the slope, the intercept, and then you'll type in NON for non. Okay, so next up here are your instructions. So your assignment is on the opposite side of this page. So obviously this is a screen, so you can't really see the opposite side, but I'll show them to you here in a second. You are to complete this paper and submit your answers in Schoology. Look for Module 5. It's an assignment. Lesson 5.2, Writing Linear Equations from a Table. So you're going to open this Lesson 5.2, Writing Linear Equations from a Table. You're going to put your answers in there. Now, there's no questions. There's just places to place your answers. Important. When submitting your answers in Schoology, if your slope is a fraction, such as 1/2, you are to enter it using a slash. For example, 1/2 would be 1/2. If you make a mistake, you may try again. So at the end of this, when you submit it, it typically gives you your total. So if you don't get 8, then there's a mistake someplace. So you can go back and try to look for a mistake. You have one chance to correct any mistake. This is due by Saturday, February 27th at 11:59 p.m. You have class time to work on it plus enrichment. Once we review our answers on Monday, March 1st, 2021 in class, this worksheet will no longer be accepted. So I have this linear equation down because we're working with linear equations just as a reminder. If you have any questions, if you're unsure of anything, and you're sitting there in class or you're sitting in enrichment, please, please, please ask me questions. I'm going to leave, well, I guess I should say this in class tomorrow because by the time you see this, class will be over. But anyway, if you have questions, please send me an email, get a hold of me. I will try to monitor my emails through Friday night and through Saturday. But keep in mind, I do have some things going on with my family, so I'll do my best to get back to you. Miss Carlini is also available. I'm not going to go through the whole paper because you have it in front of you. You can see it. But this is what the problems look like. And there's one over here, but I covered it up because when I get this in Monday, we're going to use space. I need space. So this is what the tables will look like. You'll fill in your slope, your intercept, your equation. Choose one of these, proportional or non-proportional. And then the only pieces you're going to put into your Schoology assignment is going to be the equation. You're going to fill in the equation, and then you'll tell me which one this is going to be. Those are the only two things you put in. So if you have any questions, you need to get a hold of me sooner rather than later. Thanks, folks. I appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye.